So the story that we are going to tell you about the United States and our peace work there is about three groups that essentially grew out of the campaign for a Department of Peace in the United States. And those groups you can see are the Peace Alliance, the National Peace Academy, and the River Phoenix Center for Peace Building. And there are also many other groups. I'm sure you've met people here who are from other peace-building groups in the United States, and they're going to have more information at the marketplace also. And this idea of peace infrastructures in the United States has really been embedded since our early history. We're having a little bit of trouble with the slides, but that's all right. We'll figure that out. So this is not something new in our U.S. history. This is a picture of the Iroquois Confederacy's Great Law of Peace, which dates all the way back to the 12th century. And since then, there has been a very consistent call in the United States for peace offices, academies, and centers. And so our three organizations are deeply interwoven into that history and also with each other, which is why we're doing this presentation about all three of us working together. And we believe that this story of our interrelationship of these three organizations is an example of both building and modeling infrastructures for peace. So we're going to begin in 2004 with the Peace Alliance. The Peace Alliance was founded in 2004, and their purpose is to empower civic engagement for a culture of peace. And this has primarily been done by advocating to establish a Department of Peace in the United States. And through reflecting this legislation, the Peace Alliance has consistently explored different ways to make peace building a reality from local to global by addressing the root causes of violence and also researching and implementing best practices. And at this point, since the Peace Alliance has almost been around for a decade at this point, and so they're a very well-seasoned network that work closely with California Congresswoman Barbara Lee, who you heard from at the beginning, and they have recently updated and reintroduced a bill for 2013, which is now called the Department of Peace Building. And the Peace Alliance is not only an organization that is working to promote this piece of legislation, but they are now a well-respected peace infrastructure in the United States on their own. They engage in a variety of unique peace-building activities. Some examples of that are supporting appropriation bills in the State Department and also sustaining critical peace building abroad. This is a picture here from the popular Mother's Day Peace Wants a Piece of the Pie campaign, which delivers peace pies to congressional offices and asks each of the representatives for a small piece of the peace building pie, a piece of the budget in the federal budget. And we also lobby for the Youth Promise Act, which empowers communities facing gang violence. And the Peace Alliance has branched out and started nurturing alliances with several significant partners in the United States. And we are now thriving in a whole new way. This shows some interns also who have been working in the field and said that it is the best field placement in Washington, D.C. So we're going to move on now to the National Peace Academy. And this was really birthed from the Peace Alliance. While the Peace Alliance was modeling this peace infrastructure and advocating for more comprehensive ones, the Peace Alliance was also birthing new peace infrastructures in itself. Many supporters who had been, for decades, been calling for a National Peace Academy that was described in the legislation came together and created a National Peace Academy. In March 2009, 170 people from all over the country and also representatives from around the world in civil society, business, and government all came together to establish the National Peace Academy through an Appreciative Inquiry Summit. And now the National Peace Academy is the place where peace builders go to grow. It is a home for peace professionals and community organizers looking to hone their practice. And it is also for budding community leaders and change makers who are seeking skills to create sustainable communities. National Peace Academy nurtures positive change, personal to professional, and also encourages healthy and sustainable communities throughout the world. And to do this, the National Peace Academy designs its programs to give people the tools to help them build right relationships in all 5 of the spheres of peace, which are derived from this Earth Charter definition of peace. And that is right relationships in the personal, social, political, institutional, and ecological spheres, because we know that all are necessary to create that wholeness that is peace. And still in the United States, peace-building vocations, like careers in all other areas, are built on these foundations of knowledge that are pursued through lifelong learning. We know this. And that happens both in a formal classroom, but also on the job and in daily life. And many universities in the United States now are offering degree programs in peace-related fields, but opportunities for people to gain these skills are still relatively inaccessible and also very expensive. And so through partnerships, the National Peace Academy really strives to be able to make these programs and this peace learning available and accessible to all people. So this is a picture of the pictures from the Peace Building, Peace Learning Intensive. And in 2010, Jeffrey Weisberg, who is now the Director of Programs and Outreach for the River Phoenix Center for Peace Building, attended the National Peace Academy's Peace Building, Peace Learning Intensive, which is a week-long program designed to equip participants with a holistic introduction to the 5 spheres of peace that we introduced, and to prepare them to leave the program ready to create change in their own communities. And so Jeffrey attended the Peace Building, Peace Learning Intensive, and at that intensive he shared his dream of building a peace center, which would be inspired by the life of his wife's son, River Phoenix. River's creative expression was not only as an actor, he was also a visionary who held provocative thoughts of a world living in peace through a solutions-oriented approach to life. And so this began a peace-building center in his name to make his vision real, with the intention that everyone in the community learns to resolve conflict through healthy communication in relationships and breaking the cycle of violence. The essence of the River Phoenix Center for Peace Building is restorative practices, where all people are working together to build a safe community. And the comprehensive community approach is already proving successful, even just since 2010. So we understand that just as any other sort of infrastructure, like a transportation infrastructure, would seem incomplete if it did not include all of the different methods like bus and car and bike, all the different ways that you need to move around. We also understand that in the United States, our peace infrastructures will not be complete unless they also include all of the necessary ingredients: education, research, grassroots organizing and action, political leverage, policy advocacy, and outreach. And just as a transportation infrastructure would be less practical if all of those different pieces were not connected, we are providing the connective tissue for all of those different aspects of the peace infrastructure to be integrated. And we are all going to be answering more questions at the marketplace today, and so I hope that you'll come by and learn more about all of these different organizations which are working together, local to global, to create peace cultures in the United States.
Thanks, Kristin.